coming in from Motilal Oswal Financial Services. But let's move on. The other big corporate story is that Reliance, Viacom 18 have together announced a strategic partnership with Bodhi Tree Systems, a platform of James Murdoch's Lupa Systems and Uday Shankar, to form one of the largest TV and digital streaming companies in India. Karan Taurani, the SVP-Research Analyst at Elara Securities, Amnish, Aggarwal, the Head Research at Prabhudas, Lilladher, join in. We also have Nayak, the founder and CEO of House of Cheer Network, who joins in now to discuss more on this partnership. Gentlemen, to all three of you, good morning. Raj, let me start with you. This is Sonia here. Thanks for joining us on the show. What do you think these two companies could bring together? I mean, there's a large behemoth being created in the digital space. What would this mean for the industry?
Good morning, Sonia. I think this is exciting news for the industry. I think this was something that was long awaited and it was being spoken about. But, both the partners, whether it's Reliance, of course, has been extremely successful in India, especially in the digital space and the kind of subscribers they have. And one of the things I noticed in the press release was the Jio Movies app will move to this JV or whatever it's called. And that itself, I don't know how many million subscribers or downloads it already has, right? That's one part. The other side is, and the strength, the heft that they bring to the table. The other side is both James and Uday have had an extremely successful record, and Murdochs have probably run television industry for decades now, especially not just in, especially in the sports arena, right? So the experience that comes from there, plus Uday himself has been extremely, probably one of the most successful television news executives in this country, and so together, now that this, the kind of money that is being pumped in, two things it will do, right? One of the things that Viacom 18 didn't have in its bouquet, while it had expanded into regional, they've got international channels and mainline Hindi channels and movie channels. What was missing was a sports channel. And I think this is where, it'll complete the bouquet. And another thing which I think is the digital part of it. Though Viacom has Woot, but I think with the support of RL in that space, I think they will be able to scale it up on a much faster pace if they choose to either build Woot or build another platform. I don't know what the plans are, but whatever they do, I think they'll be able to, and that's another area where they will be able to scale up very fast. So I think it's a win-win marriage where both partners will benefit, and hopefully, now we'll have two strong players in the Indian television landscape.
That's very well summarized, Raj. Good morning, gentlemen. Prashant here. Karan, I read your note. For our viewers, can you break it down in terms of, who holds how much, in which entity, where the money is coming in? And finally, as you've done in your analysis, what does that translate into as far as the listed stocks are concerned? Go on.
Right. So if you look at, TV18, they have a 51% stake in Viacom, and the balance 49% is by Viacom CBS. Now, what this deal will basically do is that, as per media reports, which say that, they have paid close to 30,500 crores for a 40% stake, which means, that the overall broadcasting entity is valued at a very sharp premium. So if you look at the math, basically in terms of the news genre and in terms of the infotainment, market cap for TV18 comes up to around 80.5 to 19,000 crores, which is a sharp premium from the current levels. If you look at the Viacom valuation, what they have given of 27,000 crores, just that entity. And because TV18 has a 50% stake, 13,500 crores is a valuation which they're getting only basis Viacom right now. And these numbers are somewhere closer to 20x 1 year forward PE multiple. Now, if you look at the valuation multiples, they are somewhere at a premium as compared to other broadcasters, because if you look at Sun TV and Z, they are trading anywhere in the range of 12 to 15 times on a 1 year forward PE multiple. So I think the premiumization in terms of the multiple is given because of 2-3 reasons. One is, they could probably enter very big in terms of sports, which is why the entire revenue scale could change. Secondly, they are doing phenomenally well in terms of the urban GEC segment because of colors. They are ranked number 2 over there, and a lot of traction is built, because of their franchise reality shows that are there. And the third aspect is, they've made some inroads into regional, specifically in the Kannada and the Marathi genre, where they have seen initial success. So I think you're giving a 20 times multiple to the Viacom business. This is the entertainment part. And if you do the back calculation, I think the news genre business typically should not be valued more than 10 to 11 times on your 1 year forward PE basis, because typically this is a very fragmented segment. And if you do that math, if you add up that 13,000 crores of the stake, and if you add the news part as well, you'll roughly get a market cap of 18.5, 19,000 crores for the entire TV18 entity.
Got that. Amnish, good morning. That was my next question, because TV18 stock has had a big rally, and it's gone up a lot, 18, 19,000 crore kind of market cap. Do you think it still has value here, or if you were an investor, would you look to book profit here? What would be your call?
Yeah, good morning, Anuj. If you look at, say, TV18 in the last 6 odd months, it has done quite well. But if you look at the way now this deal is being structured, so this deal, the capital infusion from the Reliance as well as from the Bodhi Systems, so that is roughly around 15,000 crores per part stake, which is much more than the total market cap of what TV18 is being traded at today. So I think it brings on table a lot of opportunity in terms of entering into the sports genre, and the kind of expertise which you can say, which both Lipa Systems as well as Mr. Uday Shankar brings on table. I think that will add a lot of value in the company. So I think one has to look at in the longer term. In the near term, it all depends upon, once we get more details on the deal, that how much will be the stake of TV18 now post this arrangement. But in the longer term, definitely it is going to add value for the company and for the shareholders also.
Sure. Raj, the bigger question here is whether now the group will be able to battle competition better, right? Not just local OTT players, but global OTT giants as well. Because Voot, as we know, has been at the bottom of the pyramid for a while. Capital infusion will, of course, help with competition. But overall, do you think this change of strategy with Murdoch coming on board, things could get better and the group perhaps may be able to combat competition better?
Yeah, I've had the privilege of working both with James. Uday, not necessarily in the television business, but we were colleagues in the newspaper at one time, and I've had the privilege of working at Viacom, right? So the way I look at it is, what this will bring, people are only looking at the capital infusion and looking at sports, but I think the expertise that Uday and James will be able to bring to the table, more Uday in the context of the Indian market, is that he will be able to add tremendous value to the entire business and not just necessarily sports. That's one part. And two, because of James and because of their international exposure, the opportunity to explore and scale business outside of India can be easy and faster than for any other person. Third is, like you said, Voot is at the bottom of the rung at the moment. I think, again, with the capital infusion and with the Jio support, I think they can again scale and become very big. So if you ask me, I think it will be a tough competition in the marketplace, because now you have two strong players. One is the Sony entity, and one is this Viacom 18 venture, and third is Star. These three, Disney, or whatever you want to call it. So these three will be, I think, three strong entities that will emerge, and then we'll have to see which way it goes. But I think Viacom 18 has a much larger, now that there's capital infusion, and you've got two very strong executives, both international and Indian, being part of the entity. I think it will add tremendous value to the whole group.
Gentlemen, thanks a lot for joining us. Well, Voot, of course, for now, is more of an international sports play. I mean, for example, I spend more time on Voot than on Netflix because of all the ATP tournaments, NBA, La Liga, and there are a lot of sports which Voot has kept.